Today on the deep dive, we're plunging into a topic that's pretty much all around us, but always changing. Video surveillance solutions,
Yeah.
from those really early days, grainy black and white footage, right?
Yeah.
To the super cutting edge systems we have available today. This world has changed, well, dramatically. And choosing the right security system, it can feel like trying to solve a really complex puzzle, honestly. And that's exactly what this deep dive is going to help you unpack.
Indeed. Yeah. In today's world, the need for robust physical security is just more obvious than ever. And technology is truly transforming this space at an incredible pace. We've pulled insights from, all sorts of sources, technical papers, industry analyses. The goal is to guide you through the crucial nuances of video management systems, VMS versus video surveillance as a service, VSaaS. Our mission really is to give you a clear, comprehensive picture so you can walk away feeling well informed.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. What exactly are VMS and VSaaS? Let's start with VMS, video management system. Think of it as the traditional, on-site brain for your security cameras. It's kind of like having your own dedicated server room right there on your premises.
Yeah.
Needs specific hardware, its own storage setup, to manage all that video.
Right. And historically, surveillance systems started pretty basic, CCTV cameras, tape recorders. Then they evolved to computer systems and IP cameras. But these on-site solutions, well, they quickly hit some serious limits. We're talking sheer size, power requirements, the processing demands for any kind of analysis, and especially the enormous storage needs. Just huge amounts of data.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And what's fascinating here is how cloud computing just fundamentally changed how data could be managed. It just re-architected the whole thing. And this breakthrough led directly to the idea of VSaaS, leveraging the cloud's immense network storage and processing capabilities. It's built on familiar cloud tech like software as a service, SaaS, that's like your ready-to-use app, or platform as a service, PaaS, which gives you a framework, and infrastructure as a service, IaaS, for raw computing resources. VSaaS uses these for, well, ultimate flexibility.
Okay, so VSaaS, video surveillance as a service. It's a completely different beast then. It's a cloud-based service, lets you remotely record, store, playback, manage, monitor all your surveillance footage. And crucially, with VSaaS, those videos aren't stored on site at all, right? So that completely eliminates the need for local network video recorders, NVRs, or even big computer hard drives. We've kind of laid out the concepts, but getting a system actually up and running and the investment involved, that's often where the rubber meets the road. So let's talk setup and cost. With VMS, you're looking at higher upfront costs, definitely. Equipment, ongoing maintenance. And scaling a VMS setup, that can also be quite complex, costly, often needs significant manual tweaks.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, like business economics, VSaaS, just like most cloud services, it flips that cost model completely. It gives businesses significant operational cost savings over having stuff on-premise, deployment, maintenance, because you're not buying and maintaining all that expensive hardware yourself. With VSaaS, you essentially just pay for what you use. Usually comes with a simple, consistent, predictable monthly or yearly payment. And this scalability is also key, especially for handling massive amounts of high-res video. It handles it effortlessly because processing power can be demanded precisely when needed. You just scale up or down.
That sounds like a pretty clear financial win for a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
So how does that flexibility then translate to VSaaS's actual setup and scalability? How easy is it?
Exactly. Installation for VSaaS is typically fast, on demand, often just plug and play with auto configuration. Much simpler. And it allows for effortless expansion through cloud resources. Makes it incredibly flexible and scalable. You can literally expand with just a few clicks of a mouse. It's that straightforward.
Okay, so VMS offers that sense of control, keeping data on site. That seems compelling for some. But what about accessing it? And reliability? What happens when, say, your internet connection decides to take a break? With VMS, yeah, your data is stored locally. You have full control. But that means you're solely responsible for really robust local security measures. Physical security, cybersecurity, the works. And remote access often needs a VPN, a virtual private network, which just adds another layer of complexity. The key advantage, though, you're right, is its ability to keep working, keep recording, even if the internet goes down. That's a big plus for some.
Right, and this raises a really important question about data security and redundancy in the cloud. See, cloud data centers are built with, well, double and triple redundancy, which means your data is replicated multiple times across different locations. That vastly reduces the risk of loss. And the shared infrastructure also leads to full server utilization, economies of scale, makes it incredibly efficient. It's also worth noting some VSaaS solutions have built-in safeguards now, like offering maybe a couple of days of on-premise storage as a backup, specifically designed to protect against internet outages. And they can send you instant alerts if a connection drops.
Right, okay. On the other hand, VSaaS stores all your footage securely in the cloud. Built-in encryption, backups. And this gives you instant access from literally any device with an internet connection. Your phone, tablet, laptop. The flip side, of course, is that it does rely on a stable internet connection for both live streaming and storage. So you're kind of trading some of that local control for that really pervasive access. Okay, this is where modern video surveillance really starts to take off. It gets really interesting. It's not just about recording anymore. It's about intelligence. AI and video analytics are profoundly enhancing what VSaaS can do, automatically analyzing video to detect events, trigger actions. We're talking about things like facial recognition, maybe, to identify authorized people, or crowd density estimation for safety, perhaps in public spaces, or even smart searching, so you can quickly find a specific event without having to sift through hours and hours of footage. Huge time saver.
Yeah, this truly frames a shift beyond just simple security. It's much bigger now. These capabilities provide genuinely valuable customer insights, other business analytics, helping businesses get far more value from their video systems than just catching bad guys. Imagine being able to automatically count foot traffic to optimize your store layout, maybe, or track patterns of movement to improve operational efficiency. It moves beyond just what happened to, okay, what does this actually mean for my business? Okay. And VSaaS, with its, incomparable cloud computing power, it unlocks these advanced processing features. Things like people motion tracking, pattern recognition, image sharpening, tamper detection, license plate recognition, often managed through something called a video analytics service, or VAS. Plus, you can get intelligent notifications via email, SMS, MMS, mobile apps, and these can even include snapshots or little video sequences of detected events right to your phone.
Wow, that sounds like a massive leap forward, not just for security, like you said, but for really understanding your operations much better. Now, let's address some critical concerns. Cybersecurity and the longevity of these systems. How long will they last? Are they secure? When it comes to cybersecurity, VSaaS generally offers, well, significantly fewer vulnerability issues compared to traditional VMS systems. There's no need for you to manage on-site software patches, firewalls, open ports. And there's no possibility of the storage being physically compromised by, say, theft or user error or even just bad weather like a flood.
Exactly. VSaaS providers typically have dedicated cybersecurity teams. That's their job. They're constantly monitoring for new vulnerabilities and applying instant security patches via the cloud, often without you even knowing. This architectural design, which removes those common on-site weaknesses, it inherently results in extremely low chances of cybersecurity vulnerabilities for these cloud-based systems. It's just built differently. Plus, that availability of surveillance anytime from any device, that also provides a greater level of security in itself, just due to increased access and monitoring capabilities, more eyes, potentially.
Right. What about future-proofing? Technology moves so fast. Well, VSaaS boasts pretty rapid technology evolution and automatic updates. You get continuous innovation, open APIs for analytics, integration into other business systems, often without you lifting a finger. It just happens. Now, compare that to traditional systems, which often suffer from a, let's say, shorter time to technology obsolescence and limited manual update processes. It really is like having an old flip phone versus a smartphone that constantly updates itself with new features. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up here, let's think about who benefits most from each solution. Who is VMS really for? VMS seems best suited for maybe large organizations needing that full control and deep customization. They often have the resources, the IT staff, and maybe specific compliance needs that mandate on-site infrastructure.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Meanwhile, VSaaS is often ideal for businesses seeking a simpler, more cost-effective, and scalable solution, especially those looking for flexibility and those advanced features like the analytics we talked about, but without the heavy IT overhead. And the market trends really reflect this shift. The VSaaS market, for instance, is projected to hit something like $6 billion by 2026. That's with a compound annual growth rate of around 16% from 2022 through 2026. Pretty steep growth. While the broader video surveillance market as a whole grew to about $71.28 billion back in 2022. So these numbers, they aren't just market growth, they really signal a fundamental pivot. It shows how businesses are approaching security differently now, recognizing the agility and advanced capabilities that, frankly, cloud-based solutions can consistently deliver better.
Right. So to summarize our deep dive today, we've really explored the fundamental differences between VMS and VSaaS, and the shift towards cloud-based solutions towards VSaaS is clearly being driven by significant benefits, things like cost, scalability, those advanced analytics, and pretty robust security. Ultimately, the best choice for you really comes down to your specific needs, what infrastructure you might already have, and what your priorities really are. Control versus flexibility, maybe?
Exactly. And here's maybe a final thought for you to mull over as we finish. Given these rapidly advancing capabilities, especially with AI and video analytics and VSaaS, how might businesses in the future leverage these insights? Not just for